Following backlash from vendors and festival goers last year, Providence Mayor Brett Smiley says the city's annual outdoor arts festival, PVDFest, will move back to the downtown area this fall. Alexandra Leslie talked to the mayor about it today.
Mayor Brett Smiley says he heard the complaints over the last year, so he's planning to move PVDFest from 195 District Park back to Kennedy Plaza. But it will be one day shorter, and the mayor says he still won't allow open containers. After some attendees and vendors said Mayor Brett Smiley's first PVDFest was a flop,
we tried some new things last year.
The city announced the Outdoor Arts Fest is moving back to where it all started.
We got really hit hard by weather, which was nobody's fault, but there were some other changes that the community did not prefer. And so I heard it loud and clear, and we're moving back to the downtown footprint.
Last year, Smiley moved the festival from June to September. He says that was the right call.
It's still the way to maximize benefit to the hospitality sector and deconflict with other major events that are happening in the city.
But the festival will now be one day shorter. Smiley says that's in part because the third day has had lighter programming, but was mostly weather-driven. Sunday will now be a rain date.
The way in which climate change in the Northeast is going to manifest itself is more rain and more high heat days. And so we need to start preparing all of our major public events for a rain plan.
The mayor also maintains his stance on not allowing open containers, again citing public safety reasons.
I want everyone to enjoy not only a fun festival, but a safe festival. And so there'll be plenty of places for people to get a drink, but they'll have to finish that sort of in a contained area before they move on to the next spot.
Details of the musical acts and other performances are still being worked out. Artists, performers, and vendors can apply on the festival's website. I'm Alexandra Leslie, 12 News.
PVDFest will be back later this year, but it won't be at 195 District Park. It's returning to downtown.
The location last year at 195 District Park frustrated a lot of vendors. The rainstorms were, of course, another problem. Alexandra Leslie explains how that played into the decision to move the festival back to its original spot.
Mayor Brett Smiley says the changing weather patterns in our region are a big driver behind not only moving PVDFest back to Kennedy Plaza, but making the festival one day shorter. Mayor Brett Smiley says last year's decision to move PVDFest to the city's 195 District Park was a chance to try something new, but acknowledges the backlash from that decision.
I have plenty of shortcomings, but stubborn is not one of them. And so, you know, we heard loud and clear from folks.
Smiley says while he still thinks Innovation Park is a great venue, last year proved it wasn't the right fit for the Outdoor Arts Festival. So this year, the event will be back in downtown.
Because there's no business owners at the edge of the park, there's no sort of multiplier effect with other people helping promote your event for you. Whereas this year, I believe that will happen on Washington Street because of all of the businesses on Washington Street.
Another downside of last year's location, when rain and lightning hit, some attendees and vendors were stranded without easy access to places to take shelter.
We had vendors who lost product. We had performers who had no audience because it was pouring rain. We think it is responsible to plan ahead with a rain date.
That means cutting the three-day festival down to just 2 days, with Sunday being held as a rain date. Festival organizers say the benefit to moving to Kennedy Plaza is that businesses can offer a source of shelter.
In terms of us developing a plan with PEMA, we are still in the beginning stages of planning, and so we will obviously outline certain shelter-in-place options throughout the footprint downtown.
The mayor said he will still not allow open containers at the festival, but there will be designated contained areas where people can drink. As for entertainment, the city is planning to make those announcements in the coming months. I'm Alexandra Leslie, 12 News.